If you're into portable power, I've got some to show you today from GoKWh, their latest lithium iron phosphate battery. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and yeah, this is an advanced portable power system. It's basically a big battery. I'm pretty sure the way you pronounce this company's name is GoKWh. So they make these large batteries that are, well, they're used for things like RVs, campers, campsites. I've even seen these used on the beach because I live on the beach and they do weddings and stuff out here. Got to power your speakers and stuff. I've seen them use these for that. Now, this is not necessarily in my wheelhouse, and I did tell GoKWh when they approached me about reviewing this, I said, well, all right, I'll check it out. I haven't used one of these before. This is, in fact, my first one that's like this. I typically go for the fully contained, solar generator, power station type thing, but I'm definitely interested in this. So I wouldn't call myself an expert at this at all. I'm approaching this review as, the average person using one of these types of batteries, so that's what we'll do. Take a look at their website. This one goes for $250. And if you were to get one of those all-contained power stations, you definitely couldn't get something with this much power for that much money. It's got a 12-volt, 100 AH LiFePO battery, that's how I pronounce it, with FLP pouch. Cells an advanced BMS, ensures 4,000 plus long cycle life and exceptional discharge performance. It has a built-in LCD display, allows you to conveniently check the performance of the battery without a multimeter. A replacement for marine, trolling, solar, UPS, RV, camper, off-grid, and more. It has a 5-year warranty and it is IP65 rated. That's a pretty high rating for waterproofing, even though you've got your terminals are completely exposed. You've got to actually connect your wires to the terminals, whether you're going to use clamps or if you're going to use cables. And it can be charged with solar the same way. You're going to have to use the cables to connect to it. They have a nice little comparison thing on their website, and I will put a link down in the description for that. That grade A lithium iron phosphate pouch cell, manufactured with grade A blade pouch cells. Got an ultra-safe BMS system on here. It's got charging protection, thermal management, battery cell balancing, battery aging, safe operation, data transmission. Data transmission, there is an app, and for some reason, I cannot get the app to connect to it. It could be user error. It's entirely likely, but I don't know, maybe I'm using the wrong app. I can only find one. And it's the one that I found by using the QR code on here. But for whatever reason, I can't get the app to connect. Show you a little image of what the cooling and the board looks like inside there. And that you can DIY your own battery bank system. So if you wanted to get several of these, like say for your RV or something, you could tie them together. Suitable for a variety of home or outdoor devices. Little portable freezer with 45 watts is going to go 26 hours. Now that's something that I look at because I do live in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We have hurricanes. As a matter of fact, there's Hurricane Debbie just came up from Florida and is grazing us right now, so probably not going to have much from that, but we do have power outages here based on weather. I mean, sometimes we just have 35-mile-an-hour winds and knock something out. So it's often that it happens here. As a matter of fact, the Outer Banks of North Carolina is where the Wright brothers did their first flight, expressly because we have a lot of wind. Even for home backup, it says here that it'll do your refrigerator, a 360-watt refrigerator, for 3.2 hours, which that's great. And you'd even get almost an hour out of a washing machine at 1,200 watts. So that's pretty cool. 11.1 hours on your TV. And when the power goes out, you gotta have something going, I have plugged a couple things in, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. There's 3 ways to charge the battery. You can use a generator to do it, you can use a charger to do it, or you can use a solar panel plus MPPT. So that brings me to the next thing. What comes with this package? Of course, you get the battery, you get M8 post bolts, you get insulation caps, and the user manual. So it's pretty bare bones. It's very utilitarian, and that's kind of even just look at it. It looks utilitarian, right? It kind of looks like a car battery. So when you get one of these, it doesn't come with a charger. I had to go on Amazon and find a suitable charger. It's got these clips, and these clip onto the terminals. This is a cheap one, but it does have a fan in it, so it does work. As a matter of fact, I got a little footage of that. You can hear the fan in this thing. So it's suitable, and it wasn't very expensive. I want to say it was like 20, 25 bucks. So, and if you're familiar with these, well, you already know what I'm about to tell you. And if you're not, well, how do you plug something into it? I believe that GoKWh does sell the inverters on their website. At the time, I don't think that they had them on there when I was sent this, but I just went on Vivor and bought this inverter. It's a big inverter. I wanted to make sure that I had something that was strong enough. And of course, you got your cables, and those cables are going to connect to the positive and negative on the battery battery itself. So yeah, the battery was 250 bucks. So if you don't already have an inverter, you're going to have to buy an inverter. And you probably want to buy a charger too, unless you're only going to charge it with solar. This is a VVOR pure sine wave inverter, 2,500 watts continuous power. It's got 3 outlets on it and a display. We're not here to review this though. I just wanted to point out that in order to use this, you're going to need some accessories for it. Unless you've already got that. You might need this for your boat, camper, RV, and you've already got that stuff already set up. You can just drop this in like any other battery that you would use. What's really cool is that when you press the power button on here, it brings up a nice display for the smart battery. And you don't see that on these types of batteries that much. So you don't need to use a multimeter or anything like that. You see all the information right there on the display. I have used this to charge all the electric vehicles that I ride. An electric skateboard, electric bike, and an electric scooter. Worked fine for that. I haven't tried it on a refrigerator, but if we do lose power, I'll use it for sure. Basically what I'm saying is that anything that I've tried to use it with, when I use the inverter and everything, works flawlessly. I haven't had any problems with this battery, and I did a little bit of research into these types of batteries. You don't often see that smart feature on there with a display and an app, even though I wasn't able to get the app to work. However, I was looking through their website and I see that they do have these, which all of them say Bluetooth on them. So maybe that's why the app wasn't working for me, because this one doesn't have Bluetooth. I don't know, but I see the Bluetooth ones don't have the display on them. So maybe the app is for the ones that don't have the display. You use the Bluetooth to look at it. I don't know. If I get an answer, I'll give you a little explanation down in the description. Now, I've had this one here for a little while. Like I said, it's kind of out of my wheelhouse, and it's a little bit unwieldy for the types of applications that I use it for. I mean, I've got to, get the battery in place. I've got to put the inverter on there, make sure that it's screwed into the terminals. And if you're not careful and leave that inverter turned on when you go to do it, man, you get sparks. So that can be a little bit unnerving. If you're a casual user of a power bank solar generator type thing where it's all self-contained, this may not be for you. But if you're somebody who has more of a utilitarian need and maybe you want to daisy chain them together and create a larger battery, this may be a good match for you. Not being super versed in this type of battery, I don't really know how it compares to others because this is the only one that I've used, but I can tell you that this one works really well, seems super reliable, and the company seems dedicated to making the best battery that they possibly can. So there we go. They are currently in stock in the US on their website, so you don't have to wait for it to be shipped from China or anything like that. So that may help you with your decision because some of these batteries, they come from overseas. Oh, and if you're wondering what it weighs 26 pounds. It's not a light little thing. You know what? I'm totally open to exploring new things when it comes to my hunger for power. I mean, man, listen, I've got electric skateboards, scooters, bikes, the regular stuff around this house that all are power hungry. So I love having stuff like this around. You just never know when you're gonna need it. I'm gonna continue using this, and if I find anything with it that I think I should share with you, something that will add to this, then I'll most definitely do another video with it. I'm gonna have to read this from my screen here just so I can make sure I get it right, because there's a lot to spit out here. GoKWh, 12 volt, 100 AH, LCD, LiFePO battery. That's lithium iron phosphate. And for my use, it's very good, just not as portable as the other stuff that I use, but I can see this thing living in my house and being useful. I don't have an RV, a boat, or a camper, so that's pretty much how I'll be using it. I don't know, maybe when I go out to the beach sometimes, because I do like to bring one of those portable electric coolers and other stuff out there, radio and all that. This would definitely power all that, so maybe I'll use it for that too. I appreciate you sticking around through this video because this is very different for me from what I've been using, but it's all part of my growing process, right? I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to my channel, so if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and a notification bell. If you click both of those, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. You'll also see a thanks button down below this video if you're so inclined, want to toss a couple bucks my way. I appreciate it. It is not inexpensive to run these channels, so every penny counts. Alrighty, well that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.